Hello, 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 everybody. It's your boy Jmulls of Jmulls Gaming. Back today, we got a new trailer descended from the heavens for Final Fantasy XVI. This one's called Ambition. I was not expecting a Final Fantasy XVI trailer today. I don't know why, they just dropped this on us. I mean, okay, I'll take it, I'll eat it up. I'm just saying, I wasn't expecting it. Let's put on some closed captionings for those who may need it. And the link to this trailer will be in the description down below. We're going to react to this. I'm really looking forward to Final Fantasy 16. Easily my most looked forward to game of next year. Let's see what it's all about with this trailer, shall we? What can we learn? What can we glean from it? I want to know. I want to see some things. Show me some exotic locations. Okay, we got a book. Is that the Heavensward book? Oof, that's rough. Yo! Oh, that reminds me of the Final Fantasy X seaside area. I know that doesn't really narrow it down, but if you played 10, you know. Oh, the canyon, that's beautiful. This game looks so freaking pretty. This is gonna be one of those screenshot games, isn't it? Yo, a party. They're like, you keep asking for a party, here you go, here it is. Please tell me the dog's a party member, please. Okay. Yo, the giant crystal is such a good image. I want to go there. Is that the... You can't tell me that does not look like the final place from Final Fantasy VII. Where you fight Sephiroth? I'll claim it. Thank you very much.
At the very least, we must secure Drake's breath.
Yo. Oh, they're just going through all the little, like, places we can go to. Okay, can we just admit building your castle, like, on the side of a giant crystal is a bit of a flex?
All shall bow before their emperor.
The Dalmekian Republic, whose fortunes shift.
Yo! Oh, I love how many different biomes and environments we have in this game.
Goaded into war without any thought as to what chaos it might reap.
The Iron Kingdom.
Okay, I like the way he thinks. Yo, the Iron Kingdom looks sick, though. Like, hold on. Like, in a volcano, giant, like, I want to say shard just plunged into it. Oh, yeah, I forgot that, like, all these little kingdoms are built around these giant crystal shards. The mother crystals, yeah. Dude literally just spawned out of the ether. These people seem pleasant. Yeah, Gage, you might want to move out of that. Like, fair warning. Oh god, Thanassian. Yo, these icon summons look so clean, though. Like, they really do. Kid, a washcloth. You might want to invest in it. Or I just turned into a giant phoenix. Oh my god, we're actually going to see the transformation? Yo. Oh, I love how it's not instant. Yo. Oh, that is sick. Those yellow lines that, like, engulf his face. Oh, this game's going to be dark, and I'm going to love it, aren't I? Ooh. Ah, yes. Ah! We needed some good old anime screams. That was the Jimmy Neutron Brain Blast moment. You cannot tell me otherwise. Yo, Garuda's looking... Oh, no, that's Shiva. Yo, Ramu? Maybe? Yo. Oh, oh my god, we're seeing boss fights here. Benedicta, okay. Yo. Oh, how giant they turn into? Oh, that is sick. The parry was clean, though. That parry was clean. Yo. We're seeing the icon battles as well. I love how they set these fights at night so you just see every little particle effect they did. It was like, look, we invested a lot into this. You're gonna see it. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, arise now, ye tarnished. Hell yeah, I'm down. Okay. Now, I need all of you to understand. I don't believe there to be a second ending, but if there's a second ending in Final Fantasy XVI that allows us to just burn the world with icons, I want all of you to understand that's the one I'm going for first. I'm going full icon here. Yeah, whatever gives me the most power in this game, that's the route we're going. Now, it is Final Fantasy, so I'm not expecting that. But I'm just saying, if there's a chance, if there's a puncher's chance that we can just get all the icon powers, I'm doing it. I'm just telling you right now. It's not a forewarning. It's a spoiler. That's what it is. Okay, that was awesome. I'm so glad they finally did a trailer that's just like, hey, this is going to be a big world. You might want to get a little bit acquainted with it. I love the set pieces in this game. I really do. Like, story-wise aside, setting all of your locations on the backdrop, with the backdrop of this giant, like, mother crystal for almost all of them, that is such a unique image that's going to help make all these locations feel unique compared to a lot of other games out there. It's going to produce a lot of very unique visuals that will help this game be able to stand out and separate from the rest of the pack. And I'm a big fan of that. Now, you can really tell that this game was designed by the Heavensward team from Final Fantasy XIV. For those who may not have played that game, it was a very, Knights and Dragons aesthetic. And this aesthetic right here of these, like, almost, I may be using the wrong terminology, Gothic cathedrals and these giant, like, overwhelmingly large castles, larger than life. That's a very distinct image from that game, and they seem to be bringing that aesthetic over to Final Fantasy XVI and just kind of running with it. Because to me, this is a mix of the aesthetic of Ishgard, which is this essentially giant city built upon a small little rock outcrop. Combine that with a location from Shadowbringers, right? There was this, like, castle in the middle of this Land of the Fairies. That is really what the architecture right here reminds me of. It's very similar to that in a lot of ways. You can definitely tell a lot of inspiration from Final Fantasy XIV, but I believe this game is rated M, so they can go a little bit further with the themes and motifs than they could in, like, say, Final Fantasy XIV. And I'm really interested to see what kind of story they really want to tell here, because what I got out of this trailer specifically is that they want to talk about anger and how people use anger in various ways. And I'm really looking forward to see what kind of, like, nuances, what kind of ways they try and flesh that story out, how they want to tell that story. I'm really interested to see how they tackle these themes and motifs. And especially with war, because war is going to be an overarching, framework for a lot of this game. How it feels like the game is going to be leading into this giant war of the icons. These people are going to turn into giant Final Fantasy summons, like Ifrit, like Garuda, like not Shiva as well, but like all these other summons.
The Imperial
And I know that the overall framework for a lot of this world is that each of these kingdoms, or each of these empires or kingdoms, or whatever you want to call them, they built around a mother crystal, and they have this icon, this person that was able to transform into one of these primals, and they use that to really further their will and extend their influence. But if I recall correctly, I believe it's the Iron Kingdom. They have this on, like, the website, I believe it's the Iron Kingdom. I don't think they actually have a summon. There's one kingdom that basically has forsaken all the icons. They view them as a threat to humanity and a threat to their way of life, and essentially persecute them and isolate them from their society. So I'm really interested to see if that actually holds to be the case in the 16 story, or if they secretly have some kind of summon that they just keep on, like, the back burner for a rainy day or something. But again, one of the main things that I really wanted to see from Final Fantasy XVI was, we know this world's going to be pretty big. I wanted to see just how beautiful, how many different biomes and aesthetics that this world can really have. Because I think for me, right, a lot of the time is when I play a game, I like having different things to look at periodically. Because if I look at any one aesthetic for too long, my mind just kind of gets bored of it. I like having that visual variety. I like being able to see different biomes, different color palettes, and it seems like, especially with this trailer, they really wanted to showcase that and put that in the forefront. You have this volcanic, ashy, lava-filled area here with the Iron Kingdom. You had this desert. I would say this desert kingdom here that seems to be kind of in ruins. You can tell from the overall damage that this kingdom has taken, the Dalmekian Republic. There seems to be a lot of wars that have been fought here. And stuff like that. I really want to see where that story goes. I want to see how we get here first. Yeah, and you have places like the Holy Empire of Samrik, which is built on like as a port city here. How are they going to utilize water? We're going to get a boat. We're going to get an airship. That's a Final Fantasy staple. Will we get an airship at some point? I don't know. But you can tell that the climate here is probably way colder because you can see a lot of these evergreens, a lot of these pine trees dotting the bottom right corner of your screen and off in the distance here. How do we get here? I know it's not a fully open world, and I'm kind of thankful that it isn't, because they're able to have these instance environments where they can really drastically vary the aesthetics of each individual instance. And I'm a bigger fan of that because it means that these individual areas can be more fleshed out and have more character and life breathed into them than they possibly could have been if there was just one fully rendered open world. Because that has a lot of limitations on the back end, a lot of the time. You also have this place called the Grand Duchy of Rosaria, not the 4-star from Genshin Impact. Very beautiful architecture here as well. But you can see the architecture itself is different from pretty much every location we have seen so far in this game. I'm really interested to see, because it seems like one of the main themes they want to tackle is this world at war. They want to have all these different kingdoms, all these different republics and empires populating this world, basically on a hair's breadth away from total global war. And in this world, you have the icons, so a potential world war there is far more potentially disastrous than just if it was a bunch of knights in like shining armor or something. So you have this world, you have these people that are right on the precipice of disaster, and it seems like this game is going to tell the story of that world being plunged into the pit. And then I'm going to assume at the end, the idea of like the second half of the game will be to claw the world out of this pit, somehow get it out of here and get it back to at least a place of order. Now, it is Final Fantasy, so we aren't guaranteed a happy ending. We don't know how this game is going to end. I'm assuming they're going to do the classic Final Fantasy thing and go for a more of a bittersweet ending, especially in recent times. But things I'm really looking forward to see, I want to see these icon battles with more time given to them. I believe they said that they're going to go for more of a turn-based style when it comes to these giant icon battles, as opposed to the Devil May Cry main combat when you're just down playing as Clyde. I'm really interested to see how they execute that, because having these varying genres could help keep the gameplay fresh and refreshing, honestly. I'm really interested to see how they go about it, because the combat itself looks really fun, looks very diverse. There's a lot of beauty and visual imagery here, just right here, like a very choreographed attack that's very Final Fantasy, especially when it comes to the recent swath of real-time action RPGs. Having these very telegraphed attacks where a lot of the mechanics come down to trying to avoid the attacks that the boss is doing while be able to maximize your uptime on said boss. It's a very Final Fantasy MMO style of combat, and it can work because I believe it fully worked with Final Fantasy VII Remake. And now I'm just noticing this is Odin. This is the Odin fight. And it seems here that the icons we have at our disposal are Shiva, Phoenix, and I think this is Titan. So I would say this fight is probably at least halfway, judging by the level of the character here, level 37, and the fact we have multiple other Titans. So to me, what the overall structure of this game's story is going to be is you're going to go to these various kingdoms, these various provinces around the world, and the goal will be to find the icon, either convince them to join your side or defeat them and claim their icon power for your own. Now, the thing that makes me curious is the fact we can play as Phoenix at level 14, because I thought Joshua, that little boy character at the very beginning, I thought he was the icon of Phoenix. So what they could do is, we know there's a time skip. That at some point, Clyde will go from kind of like his adolescent to this more of an adult character. Here's my early prediction. Here's my early theory. I think Joshua dies right at the start. Maybe within like the first 5 to 10 hours. I think he dies very early on, and that Clyde, what he has to do, he has to become the new inheritor of Phoenix. He has to become the new icon of Phoenix. And then he's going to like, okay, well, I have to go defeat Ifrit. I think Ifrit will kill Joshua as Phoenix. Clyde will take up the mantle of icon of Phoenix, go around the world trying to stop the world from going into the brink of world war, take up all these icons, and the idea will be defeat whatever the force is behind Ifrit. I don't think Ifrit's just gonna be the final boss, right? I'm pretty sure there's gonna be someone or something controlling Ifrit. I'd be really interested to see just how this story plays out, because I know, the reason I'm not really skeptical about this game overall is because I trust the development team behind it. Being led by Yoshi P, being led by the writers of Heavensward. That's one of my favorite stories ever told. And I know they're able to tell a story with a bunch of nuance, with a bunch of varying themes and motifs, and be able to tell it in such a way where it's engaging, but you can also get something unique out of it. So I'm really interested to see what story they really want to tell here, how they want to execute that, what kind of nuance, what kind of like take or idea they want to distill onto the player, onto the consumer. And the gameplay looks really fun. I've been playing Devil May Cry recently. I've been really enjoying the combat. I can now see how this game's combat is very related to that. It looks very similar, and it's gonna be flashy, gonna be really fun and dynamic. My only main concern is that they might go the way of having it be a little bit too flashy at the expense of the gameplay, but at least with the Clyde-based gameplay that I've seen, I don't really have that concern for the ground person v person combat. I don't really have that concern there. My only real main like trepidation when it comes to the combat of this game comes down to the icon battles, and that they might be a little bit too slow and animation locked. But if they're going for that traditional turn-based style, that could work. I really want to see how they tackle those fights. I really hope they don't just lean into the visual spectacle of those encounters, and I really hope that what they do is have fun and varying gameplay that you have to think about, that you have to plan out, that what makes turn-based gameplay so much fun. I hope they kind of like bring those elements into that field, because my main concern is we're probably not gonna be doing icon v icon fights all that often. So they kind of have to keep it simple. My problem is they might keep it a little bit too simple, but I need to just see more of those icon v icon fights. I don't think it will ruin the game either way, depending upon how many there are and how much time they take. There's just a difference between how good they could be and how bad they could be, right? Because I have faith in pretty much every other aspect of this game. It's just that's the only real question mark I have when it comes to this game. So yeah, I'm going to leave a link to this in the description down below to this Ambition trailer for Final Fantasy 16. So go watch it, go dissect the trailer, and what I want you to do is come back here and leave your comment about what you may have gathered, what you may have questions about in regards to Final Fantasy 16. How do you think the world's going to operate? I just want to hear your thoughts and hear your opinions and hear your theories. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to get some good discussion going. While you're down there, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out and helps support future content, and I greatly appreciate it. Stay safe with everybody. Have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.